Okay, so we are going to start with the perimeter and isosceles triangles word problems notes first. So for the perimeter word problems, how do you find the perimeter of something? You add all the sides. So right here we're going to write add all sides. Okay, so since all of these are going to be triangles, I'm going to go ahead and draw my triangle. It's talking about triangle LUV. So I'm going to label this LUV. And it does not matter in what order you label that. It tells me from L to U, the length of this side is 3x minus 6. It tells me that the length from U to V is 2x plus 4. And it tells me the length from L to V is 5x minus 3. Then it tells me that my perimeter is 65. So you just told me to find the perimeter of something, we add all the sides together. So I'm going to take this side plus this side plus this side, and it should equal 65 because that's what they tell me the perimeter is. So we're going to do 3x minus 6 plus 2x plus 4 plus 5x minus 3, and that should equal 65. So from here we're going to combine our like terms. So we have 3x, 2x, and 5x. What would that give us? 10x. Then we have a negative 6, a positive 4, and a negative 3. So negative 6, negative 3 is a negative 9, and then a positive 4 would give me a negative 5. Okay, from here it's just simply solving for x. So what would we do first? Add 5 to both sides. That would give us 10x equals 70. And so what does that mean x would equal? 7. Okay? And then it asks me for each side, LU, UV, LV. So to find LU, I would plug in 7. 3 times 7 minus 6. 3 times 7 is 21, minus 6 is 15. Then we would do UV, so we would do 2 times 7 plus 4. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 4 is 18. And then for LV, we do 5 times 7, which is 35, minus 3 is 32. All right, questions on that one? Okay, let's do one a little more difficult. So let's look at number 2. I'm going to go ahead and draw my triangle. So we have triangle SIX. So it does not matter in what order you label SIX. It tells me IX is 3 more than a number. So that's 3 more means plus. What does than mean? Swap. Very good. A number we let be x. So instead of 3 plus x, since we're swapping it, IX is actually going to be x plus 3. I'm going to put x plus 3 right here. Okay? Then it tells me that XS is 10 less than the number. So 10 minus, then we're swapping the number. So instead of 10 minus x, it's going to be x minus 10. And then SI is 5 times the number. So 5 times, our number was x. So SI is 5x. Then it tells me The perimeter is 133. So what would I do with each side? I would do what? Add them together. So we would do x plus 3 plus x minus 10 plus 5x, and that should give me the perimeter, which they tell me is 133. So we have x, x, and 5x gives me 7x. Then I have positive 3, negative 10 is a negative 7 equals 133. Then from here we're just going to solve for x. So what do we do first? Add 7 to both sides. That gives me 7x equals 140. We divide by 7, and x equals 20. Very good. Then to find each side, we just plug in that 20. So this would give me 20 plus 3 is 23. This one would give me 20 minus 10, which is 10. And this one would give me 5 times 20, which would be 100. Okay, do we have questions about that one? Okay, well then let's talk about isosceles triangle word problems. Okay, so there's some terminology that we want to know. First off, our congruent sides are going to be called legs. Okay, and if we're looking at this picture, which two sides are congruent here? So AB and AC. Very good. Now, the angle formed between the congruent sides is going to be this angle right here because it's between this side and this side. This is called the vertex. Okay, and so the example would be angle A. Now, the side opposite of the vertex, in the picture, that side is BC. The side opposite of the vertex is called the base. That's what the triangle sits on, or an isosceles triangle. And then the angles formed between the base and each congruent side would be this angle and this angle. So we'd put angle B and angle C are the angles formed between the congruent sides and the base, and these are called base angles. Okay, so you will see that terminology in our isosceles triangles word problems. Okay, so let's try this one right here. So the first thing that I want to do is I'm going to draw an isosceles triangle, or close to it. Okay, so this tells me that triangle KID is an isosceles triangle with angle I as the vertex. So where's the vertex? At the top. So this is going to be I. It tells me the perimeter of the whole thing is 59. And then it tells me the measure of the legs, or find the measure of the legs if KD. So I need to go ahead and label K and D. Does it matter if I swapped this K and this D? No, it doesn't matter which one. Okay, so from K to D is 3x plus 2. And and ki is, it'd be nice if I labeled it correctly. Okay, ki is 4x plus 1, and kd is 3x plus 2. This is 3x plus 2, and this is 8x minus 19. Okay, so what do we do to find the perimeter of something? We do what? Add all the sides together. So we're going to do 4x plus 1 plus 8x minus 19 plus 3x plus 2, and that should equal what they told me was my perimeter, 59. So I'm going to combine my like terms, 4x, 8x, and 3x. What is 4x, 8x, and 3x? What is it? 15x. Then we have positive 1, negative 19, and positive 2. So that's a positive 3 minus 19, negative 16, equals 59. Okay? Then we're simply solving for x from here, so what will we do next? Add 16 to both sides. So 15x equals 75. We then divide by 15, and x equals 5. Okay, and so it asked me to find the legs. Which ones are the legs? Ki and id. Okay, so we're going to plug in 5. We're going to do 4 times 5 plus 1. 4 times 5 is 20, plus 1 is 21. Do I need to plug into the other one? No, because they're congruent and they're the same. Okay? Yes?
How do you know those sides are congruent? Is it just always those two sides?
It's an isosceles triangle,
Okay.
which means the two legs are congruent and the base is not. Yes? The legs are the ones on the side, not the base that it's sitting on. Okay, let's look at number 4 as well. So number 4, it references an isosceles triangle again. So I'm going to go ahead and draw my isosceles triangle. Only when it tells you. So these two both say this one says its vertex is angle A. So this angle up here is going to be A. Then it does not matter where I put B or C. I'm going to put B here and C here. It tells me that AC is 5 less than 2 times a number. So 5 less than 2 times a number would be written as what? 2x minus 5. So this is 2x minus 5. Okay? And then it tells me that AB is 3 more than the number. So how would we write 3 more than the number? X plus 3. Then it tells me that BC is 1 less than the number, so that would be x minus 1. Okay, so they do not give me the perimeter this time, so we're not adding all these sides together. What can we do knowing that it's an isosceles triangle? Yes? Set which one's equal? Very good. We know that this side and this side is congruent, so we're going to set to equal and solve. So we're going to do x plus equals 2x minus 5. I'm going to solve for x equals minus 5. Then I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So x equals 8. And then it says find the measure of each side. So I know that AB and AC are going to be the same, so I just have to plug into one of those. So 8 plus 3 gives me 11. So my legs are 11. And then for BC, I get 8 minus 1, which is 7. Okay, any questions about those? Okay, let's look at your next sheet. So these are angle word problems. So we're going to be looking at all angles. So what do we know about all angles in a triangle? They add to 180. So I'm going to put triangles, and this should actually say angles in a triangle equal 180. Okay? So each time they give us angles, we're going to add them to equal what? 180. So let's look at number 1. So I have triangle GEO. Angle measure G, my first angle, is 7x. My angle measure E, my second angle, is 6x minus 1. And my third angle measure is 90. Okay? So we can draw our triangle to keep this organized, right? But I do know that all three angles added together should equal 180, so I do not necessarily have to do that. So, Walker, will you grab that? We're going to do 7x plus 6x minus 1 plus 90 equals 180. Okay? So we combine our like terms. What are our like terms here? 7x and 6x. That's going to give me 13x. Then I have a negative 1, a positive 90. That's a positive 89 equals 180. Then all we do from here is we solve for x. So what would we do first to solve for x? We do what? Subtract 89 from both sides. That's going to give me 13x equals 91. Serena, grab that sheet off the top. Okay, and then we divide by 13, and x equals what? 7. Then to find each angle, we're just going to plug in. So 7 times 7 gives us 49. 6 times 7 is 42. Minus 1 is 41. And then O was just 90. Okay? All right, let's do one more, and then I'll let you go. So in triangle ABC, it tells me that the measure of B is 3 times the measure of angle A. And then measure C is 10 more than measure A. What is the only measure that they didn't tell me? A. So the measure that they do not tell us is the measure that we're going to let be x. So angle A, we're going to let be x, and then we set the other ones up around it. So measure B is 3 times x, so 3x. And then we have angle C is 10 more than x, so that would be x plus 10. And so what do we know about all three angles in a triangle? They add to 180. So we do x plus 3x plus x plus 10 equals 180. So that's going to give me, combine all these x's, that gives me 5x plus 10 equals 180. I would solve for x by subtracting my 10. And so 5x gives me 170. We divide by 5. And x equals 34. So that means angle A is 34. To find B, we would plug in 3 times 34 is what? 102. And then again, we'd plug in for C. So 34 plus 10 is 44.